other roadblock which happens is that understanding of what, like VP products or, CPOs like you are looking for in a product manager. So when you hire, what do you really essentially look at? What qualities?
Okay, so it's not a pretty slide. I did it for like a little consulting engagement, but it actually outlines perfectly what I look for when I hire.
Mhm.
So in the middle, you got to be nice. That's just non-negotiable. So I can work with you.
I hope I was nice when we worked together.
Yeah, no, like I did, I did not hire you. I was not in a position. You're already there, but I obviously look for that in my colleagues, and expect that. But anybody can say that, any profession, right? But I do focus on it. You can't be a surly product manager. It won't work for you in your
Right.
career. So then the next circle, the next loop are the personal attributes. This is kind of like your personality.
Mhm.
And the one on the lower left is the one we just talked about, actually, customer empathy.
Right.
Now, the way I phrase it is, this is your ability to abstract yourself and put yourself in the shoes of your customer or user.
Right.
So to think, what would they think, to think, what would they feel, to kind of like picture yourself going through and using your product.
Right.
And that's particularly important because we don't always have a customer next to us saying, what do we do now? Should we do this? Does this work? Right? You, as the product manager, are the final representative of the customer inside the company.
Yeah.
And to be able to represent them well, you need to be able to empathize with them.
Right.
So it has to do like mental abstraction, right? Putting yourself in the shoes of somebody else. So the next thing is you got to be organized and structured, because you juggle so many balls as a product manager, and you just need a methodical way of working through them and getting stuff done. And then clarity of communication, because you're always talking to people, to customers, to stakeholders, to engineers. You don't have time to mumble. You need to get to the point. You need to be precise. You need to be clear. And that's extremely important to be effective. So then the outer circle is more like the mindset rather than like personal attributes. This is like how you think. And the thing about the outer circle is you can actually develop it, right? Like you can choose ways of thinking and best practices and like mental models to help you do these things. So starting at the top is systemic problem solving, right? So work through step by step, figure out the solution, just have that like ability and desire to do that. Technical agility is actually quite important, I think, too, in our area of product management.
Yes.
I'm not talking like, FMCG product management. I'm talking technology product management.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you need to be a programmer. It doesn't need to mean you need to be an expert in your technology, but you need to be able to deep dive when necessary.
Right.
That's what I mean by agility.
Right.
Either to understand a problem your engineer is dealing with, or to help pick a particular vendor or technology approach. You need to be able to do it when necessary. That's the key.
So Art, do you think that, like, just on that point, right? So since we are both coming from the technical field, I've coded for 3 years. Definitely helps, isn't it? Like, especially the software engineers. As I always say, so the professionals who are coming from engineering background, whom I'm coaching right now, there's definitely an advantage there, because you can gauge the feasibility. You're not just building products, or you're not building features which are not even feasible. So again, I mean, it's kind of a balance you need to maintain in regards to stopping yourself, as well as just going on a North Pole and just building something really so definitely, I mean, I completely agree, especially in this field. So is it like a make or break? So coming from, let's say, if someone is coming from marketing, uh, and someone is coming from engineering, so does that mean that you might prefer someone who is coming from engineering?
No, so okay, so there's like 3 layers there, right?
Right.
So the first layer is the one we're just literally talking about, which is technical agility,
Right.
right? You may not have that background or that knowledge, but you're okay with acquiring it,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? Your mind and your disposition says, okay, I don't know about it, but I'll learn, I'll figure it out.
Right. Right.
Right? What I need to, as deep as I need to go to like solve this problem, right? So
Right.
that's one thing.
Right.
Having the mindset to want to do that.
Right.
The second aspect is I actually mentioned that on the left in that kind of fourth bullet. Like domain knowledge and technical skill, it depends. If I have an extremely technical product domain, I may prefer and bias someone with a technology background.
No. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not all product domains are technical. Some might be very customer user focused. Some might be very process focused.
Right.
Some might be very data focused.
Right.
It
Right.
depends on the nature of the particular product or product area they're working on.
Right.
In some cases, I actually might need someone that's worked in that particular vertical or field before, if it's
Right.
like security related or something like that. So that actually depends. That's never a given.
Right.
Like the things in the circles here are kind of givens. I want that from every product manager I work with,
Right.
but the actual technical skill is not. So that's kind of like the second answer. But there's also a third answer,
Uh-huh.
which is that again, in the product area we work in, which is software and technology, right?
Right.
Having a technical background helps a lot because it makes you faster,
Yes. Yeah.
right? You can get to decisions and resolutions quicker
Yes.
because you don't need to run to your tech lead every 5 minutes and say, can we do this? Can we do that?
Right. Right.
Or,
Right.
what are the trade-offs here or there? Or, how are we going to do this, right? You can make those decisions already in your head, some of them,
Right.
because of the background, what you know.
Right.
And so you can be 2, 3, 4, 5x quicker in terms of your role as a product manager if you have a technical background in the sector we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So it's
completely
not,
relate to it. Yeah.
not required, but it helps.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think again, the other kind of pro of it is that you develop, like, with my experience, you develop pretty good relationship. So it's all about, obviously, like you mentioned, organization and structure and clarity of communication, essentially because it's a highly cross-functional role. And one of the teams which you really closely deal with day in and day out is the technical team. So if you have the technical acumen, and if not, then if you're ready to, it really definitely helps building better relationships with the tech team. Completely agree. And the other important thing which you touch upon, again, I mean, because uh, various domains, like I've worked in real estate and jobs and health, wealth, industrials and whatnot. So if you have a domain, like one of the professionals I'm coaching right now is coming from cloud based solutions. He was a technical guy. So if he is choosing or shortlisting companies which are into cloud-based solutions and are hiring for a product manager, definitely there'll be some preference because he knows the technology, right? So I completely
Yeah, well,
understand. Yeah.
exactly. Especially, if some people are sector or vertical specialists,
Yeah.
right? And so, if that's a path that they're choosing, obviously, then if they're focused on that vertical, right, that experience helps and helps them,
Yes.
position themselves.
Right.
I myself am more of a product generalist. I hire, like, by default, I'll bias towards product generalists, unless
Mhm.
again I have a specific domain or specific product area that needs a particular kind of profile.
Right.
Um, so that's why I don't have technical skills here on this
In
ring
the
map.
in the yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I can completely yeah. So if you talk about product generalist, right, it's I think if you look at my domains, and I think if you become a product generalist, just a question on that, and just a, like, kind of confirming my thought process. So um uh for me, when I get headhunted or I look for a company, I look at more a role, because essentially, I think hearing it from you, I think I didn't call myself anything, but I will call myself product journalist from now on, essentially because I'm working in insurance right now. Prior to that, I was working in health. Prior to that, I was working in SaaS, right, a pure integration model. So and job sites and education. So I think essentially, do you think product managers who are coming from multiple domains are better from an adaptability point of view?